I'm going to place the cursor here. Now, you'll notice that it inserts the cursor and starts to blink in between two characters. Now, that space is that position actually has a term. This is called the kern. So whenever you place the cursor between two characters, you've actually placed the cursor in the kern. So every combination of letters has a kern in between it. That's spelled K-E-R-N. So this is the kern between the H and the E. So when you click between two letters, it does that. All right. Now let's say I click twice in the exact same spot. Let's see what it does. It highlights the word. And if I click 3 times in the exact same spot, it highlights the line. If I click 4 times in the exact same spot, it highlights the paragraph. If I click 5 times in the exact same spot, it highlights what's called the text thread. So it highlights all of the text that's connected together. All right, so this is a quick way of selecting the text in your document. If I want to highlight a word, I click twice. I want to highlight a line, I click 3 times. Highlight a paragraph, I click 4 times. So it's a nice built-in efficiency. All right, so I want to select this paragraph. I've just done that. Now you'll notice that the paragraph ends with this symbol. This symbol is called a pilcrow. Okay, so that's our pilcrow. At the end of every pilcrow identifies a paragraph. Does that make sense? So I have a question for you. Is this a paragraph? Yes, it is. There is a pilcrow right before it. So even though it's one word, the software understands it as a paragraph. Okay, every pilcrow represents a paragraph. So this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. Here's another paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this paragraph. Whoops. And I'm going to go to my control bar, and you'll notice that my control bar has a pilcrow as well. Now this is paragraph formatting. This is character formatting. Paragraph formatting, character formatting. Now I'm going to go to character formatting, and this allows me to design what my font is going to look like. There's actually a website called What the Font. And What the Font is a font sorcerer. So like if you upload an image, it tries to tell you what font it is. It works okay. It doesn't work that great, but it's all right, whatever. So I think that's why it's called What the Font. So anyhow, it's a bad joke, sorry. You'll notice that when I go to the drop down for the font, there's a divider. And above the divider, these are the recently sourced fonts that I worked with. And then below it, I have all of the fonts in alphabetical order. You'll notice that you can filter fonts based on the type of font that they are. Now, this is an older version of InDesign. In the most recent version, it doesn't have a TK. It's the Adobe font symbol. And if you clicked on it, it would source only Adobe fonts. Now, I don't have it active, so it's not going to show me anything. But I'm just going to select a font that I might have in here. You'll notice that it gives me a graphical preview, which is really nice. Okay, and I'm going to select, you guys like Comic Sans? I love Comic Sans. I think it has a bad rap. I'm not going to pick it, but I just think it has a bad rap. I'm going to select, let's see here. Should I select Helvetica? What do you guys think of Helvetica? Yeah, I'm just tired of Helvetica. I don't want to pick Helvetica. It's everywhere. Somebody called it the sweatpants of fonts. Think about that. All right, and then here's another one, Myriad. I think Myriad is worse than Helvetica. It's just I'm sick and tired of it. So you know what? I'm going to select Optima. Okay, Optima right here. So Optima looks like this. Okay. So you'll notice that the font above Optima, this one is Minion. So I hate Minion as well, so I'm tired of seeing it. Minion has these little decorative elements along the character. Do you see those little decorative elements? Let me get to my selection tool. See these little guys right here? And then the R, the M has this little thing right here. And then, yeah, you guys know what those are called? They're called serifs. Yes, that's correct. They're called serifs. Now, does Optima have those? Does Optima have those? No, it doesn't. So Optima does not have it, but this one did. So fonts can initially be broken into two categories. One category are called serif fonts. The other category is called sans serif fonts. Now within these two categories there are other categories, subcategories. So Optima is what is referred to as a humanist font. So it's a sans serif. It doesn't have those little decorative elements, but you'll notice that the line does not look as mechanical as Helvetica. It has more of an organic shape because it changes in weight and thickness. So it's a humanist. It almost looks like a person's drawing it with a pen of some sort, some calligraphy pen. So this is Optima. It's a sans serif. And then this is, what was it, Minion? Minions. It is a serif font. Now, when we go to preview, let's look at it like this. You can see the difference. Okay. So serif fonts like this are said to be easier to read. However, there's been case studies that have invalidated that. But traditionally speaking, if you read typography books, they will say that these are easier to read because the serifs act like a cursive, and it leads or creates what's called continuation from one character going into the next. It also sort of creates a more uniform spacing, an optical spacing between the letters. Serifs are more commonly found in novels because of this idea of more efficiency in terms of reading. Sans serif fonts have more of a mechanical quality. They're sort of leveraging the industrial age. They kind of have more of a modern aesthetic. And if you look at Helvetica or Arial, it's very difficult to distinguish one over the other. If you look at Helvetica and Arial, they have a generic quality to it, a conforming quality. So if you want your content to look more uniform and not as stylistic, then you would probably want to work with a sans serif font. If you wanted to look more modern, you might want to go with a sans serif font. So the corporate world loves sans serifs for the sake of uniformity, okay? But serif fonts can be more romantic, they can be more visually interesting, they can be more decorative, they can evoke more emotion. Not to say that this doesn't, but this is more expressive. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to pick a different font for the word home. This is what we would refer to as a header. So we have headers and subheads. So I'm going to change this. Usually a header is going to be emphasized. So I'm going to pick a font that looks a little bit more stylistically emphasized. And we create emphasis through you know what? I'm going to look for Serifa. I like Serifa a lot. PQRS Serifa. There we go. Serifa. This is what's referred to as a slab serif. So it has serifs on it, but they're more block-like. They look like slabs. So they don't have those little rounded elements to it. And I'm going to select bold to really emphasize it. And I'm going to make it bigger.